Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, well, we're getting into a pretty serious mountain, Nanga Parbat. It's the ninth highest, and we've got some material here exploring why it has such a fearsome reputation.
It really does. A fearsome reputation is putting it mildly, I think.
So our mission today really is to unpack that. Why this mountain?
Okay, so picture this first. You're in the western Himalayas, Pakistan, Gilgit-Baltistan, right near the Indus River, and this thing just shoots up.
The elevation gain is dramatic, isn't it? Almost straight up from the valley.
It's incredible, just staggering vertical relief.
And the name itself, Nanga Parbat, that's Sanskrit, right? Meaning naked mountain.
Yeah, naked mountain, which kind of fits its profile, very stark.
But the Tibetans call it Dimer.
Dimer, yeah, which just means huge mountain. So both names really get at its sheer scale. It doesn't hide.
Geographically, it's pretty significant, too. Like the westernmost point of the main Himalayan chain.
Exactly, it's the western anchor. And then you've got the south face, the Rupal face. That thing is,
Yeah.
well, it's enormous.
How big are we talking?
We're talking 4,600 meters. That's 15,090 feet, just a sheer wall of rock and ice, one of the biggest mountain faces on Earth.
Wow, okay. And that scale, I imagine, feeds directly into its nickname, the Killer Mountain.
Absolutely, that name didn't come from nowhere. The early climbing history is pretty grim.
The fatality rate was just shockingly high, especially early on.
It was devastating. You look at Albert Mummery back in 1895. He went there, tried to climb it, and just vanished. He and his Gurkhas were lost.
And that set a dark tone right from the start.
It really did. It wasn't just one bad trip. It established the sense that the mountain was actively dangerous, maybe even malevolent in a way.
And in the 1930s, the German expeditions?
Yeah.
Our sources talk about repeated tragedies.
Oh, yeah. Just relentless attempts met with disaster. Avalanches, terrible storms, extreme cold. They lost so many climbers. It really cemented that killer mountain reputation. It seemed almost unclimbable.
Like the mountain was fighting back.
You could almost say that, yeah.
But then, 1953, Hermann Buhl.
Right.
That first descent is just legendary.
Yeah. It's one of the all-time great stories in mountaineering. He was part of this German-Austrian team, but the final push, he did it solo.
And crucially, without bottled oxygen.
Right. No supplemental O2. And the duration. 41 hours from the high camp, Camp V, to the summit, and then all the way back down. It's almost superhuman.
The endurance required is just mind-boggling. A real testament to willpower.
Totally. It became iconic instantly.
And the story didn't end there. Later climbs also pushed boundaries. The Messner brothers, Reinhold and Gunther, on the Rupal face in 1970.
That was huge. The first ascent of that massive face we talked about. A major achievement, but also incredibly tragic.
Because Gunther died on the descent, right?
Yes, sadly. It added another layer to the mountain's difficult history, even in success. But tackling that face, that was a game changer.
Then jumping forward a bit, 2005, Anderson and Howe's Alpine style on the Rupal face.
Right, Vince Anderson and Steve House. That was seen as another massive leap. Alpine style means lightweight, self-sufficient, moving fast, no fixed ropes laid by others, no pre-stocked camps beyond base camp. Purest form, many would say.
Really emphasizing speed and minimal impact. Considered a huge deal.
Absolutely. Groundbreaking for its time, especially on a face that size.
And then the challenge gets even tougher. Winter. The first winter ascent wasn't until 2016.
That's right. Ali Separa from Pakistan, Simona Mora from Italy, and Alex Texicon from Spain. Making that first winter summit was, well, it's hard to overstate the difficulty.
Conditions must be exponentially worse. Extreme cold, high winds, short days.
Exactly. Winter on an 8,000-meter peak, especially one like Nanga Parbat with its history and weather patterns, is probably the ultimate mountaineering challenge. It pushes human limits right to the edge.
So moving beyond just the climbing feats, what about Nanga Parbat's place in the region, culturally, geopolitically?
Well, it's obviously a huge landmark for Pakistan. It's up there with K2 as one of their iconic peaks, a source of national pride for sure.
And it must impact the local economy.
Definitely. It's a major draw for international climbers and trekkers, which fuels the tourism economy in Gilgit-Baltistan. It provides vital income, jobs for guides, porters, logistics.
So it's interwoven with the local communities.
Very much so. And for some communities, these mountains aren't just rock and ice. They hold deeper cultural and spiritual significance, too.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive here, it feels like Nanga Parbat's reputation is this complex mix. The raw geography, the tragic early losses, and then these incredible, almost defiant a sense.
Yeah, the Killer Mountain label is earned through that history, but it's also a place of profound human achievement. The geography is challenging, the history is dark, but the climbs are legendary.
It really captures that intense relationship between humans and high places.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe for you to ponder. Why do people keep going back? Knowing the history, seeing the sheer scale and the objective dangers, the avalanches, the storms, what is it about a place like Nanga Parbat that still compels climbers to risk everything?
What does that intense draw tell us about maybe the human spirit's need for exploration, for testing limits, even when the stakes are so incredibly high?
Exactly, something to think about.